That would have been the perfect time to hit the button. How do we know if that song is over or not? I mean, how do we know if there's an end? I mean, it's really hard to say. If we could honestly say if there's an end, if there's an end of that song or not, it's hard to say. It's difficult. It's difficult to interpret if there's an end or if I just push the button randomly. And I know what you'd want to do. I know what you'd want to be asking yourself these kinds of questions as to why my tank is so murky. I was literally just had my hands in there. That's why we started late. I was pulling all the plants out of the back corner of that tank because they were driving me nuts. So we had to do some trimming. We had to do a little bit of trimming by yanking them out with my hands. Because I was going to start working on my tank, and then my alarm clock went off for the live stream today. So I was like, well, at least I could just yank some plants out of there, so it will ultimately motivate me to go back. Once the live stream is over, before Girl Scouts, I was looking at my schedule today, and I think I hit all of the appointed schedule appointments. Some of them I won't tell you about because they're none of your business, but your boy here had to be at the old dentist's office at 6:30 in the morning for the old dental upcheck. Dental upcheck? The dentist upcheck? Checkup. There we go. We went to the upcheck, and it was good. And we got checked up, and we got checked out. And turns out it's all fine. Got some x-rays so I could get my cancer points up. Try to boost those cancer numbers, but the x-rays do it slowly. The best way to get the cancer numbers up are flying in an airplane, right? We gotta look that up real quick. Oh, no, it's the other way around. It's the other way around, guys. Okay, so the x-ray numbers are good. We need those x-ray numbers to get the cancer up. Okay. We'll see about getting some more x-rays then. The flights are only doing half. The flights are only doing half of the radiation of the x-ray. So we're going to have to get those numbers up. But as long as I'm flying international, then it counts. So that's good. Or living next to an Amazon data center. I don't know. Is there radiation coming from the... Oh, here we go. Amazon data center linked to cluster of rare cancers. For hundreds of communities who have been saddled with data centers in recent years, the bulky fixtures are sources of unbearable noise, soaring energy prices, and plenty of electrical fires. Add another grim possibility to that list, debilitating rare cancers. Reporting on the data center boom in the state of Oregon, Rolling Stone tells the story of Jim Doherty, a cattle rancher and former county commissioner of Morrow in eastern Oregon. Doherty's story began when he noticed a rise in bizarre medical conditions among the county's 45,000 residents linked to toxins in the local water. Working with the county health officer, the rancher turned official began a survey of 70 wells throughout his jurisdiction, 68 of which his testing found violated the federal limit for nitrates in the drinking water. You guys know about nitrates. I'm talking to a live stream of all the people should know what nitrates are. Okay. Of the first 30 homes he visited, Doherty told Rolling Stone that 25 residents had recently had miscarriages, while 6 had lost a kidney. Jesus. One man, about 60 years old, had his voice box taken out because of cancer that only smokers get. That's a problem. That's a problem statement right there. But that guy hadn't smoked a day in his life, he told the publication. But the spike in cancer-causing pollution wasn't just the fault of local farms, as Doherty expected. It had its roots in a 10,000 square foot data center by the commerce giant Amazon, which first went online in Morrow County in 2011. Basically, the allegations go like this. Industrial mega farms operating in the area are responsible for churning out millions of gallons of wastewater laden with nitrates from fertilizers. All that waste has to go somewhere, which is one way of saying it mostly ends up in the ground. Amazon's hulking data center, thirsty for water to cool its blazing hot computer chips, supercharged this process, adding millions of gallons of wastewater a year to the heavy volume of farm runoff, which Morrow County was already struggling to keep up with. Soon, even the deepest reaches of the local aquifer were tainted, according to Rolling Stone, as huge volumes of data center and agricultural wastewater saturated the water table. This meant that the data center itself began taking on the toxic sludge as it drew on groundwater to cool its electronics. But when it did, evaporation only further concentrated the wastewater, which occasionally contained nitrate levels 8 times higher than Oregon's safe limit. The super concentrated data center water then made its way back into the waste system, where it ostensibly piled up all over again. In response to the allegations, Amazon spokesperson Lisa Lewandowski said that our data centers draw water from the same supply as other community members. Nitrates are not an additive we use in any of our processes, and the volume of water our facilities use in return represents only a very small fraction of the overall water system, not enough to have any meaningful impact on water quality. Yeah, this is once again one of those unforeseen issues. I would be honest to say that I think the agriculture would be the problem. We need... Trying to find the the water reports from a past issue that I was working on looking into, which was in the Wenatchee area, but I gotta find it. Water quality report. Shit. I don't know if I'm gonna find it right away. But we found this in the past in Wenatchee. It was a perfect example of the agricultural runoff. So at certain points of time in the year, there's zero nitrate in the water. And then other times of the year, other times of the year, there's 0.9 milligrams per liter, right? Yeah, milligrams per liter is equivalent to parts per million. Yeah. So it jumps up and down throughout the year there. So my guess would be in eastern Oregon, it's really arid out there. Like I said, the water's being pulled from the underground aquifer. I doubt that there is much to be doing about like eliminating or cleaning the groundwater. But it sounds like it's compounding the already prevalent nitrate in their drinking water that people are drinking. Let's see. Amazon said Monday that it will spend $20 billion. Oh my God. I'll fix it next time. Just give me half the ads. Stupid computers. Amazon said Monday that it will spend $20 billion on 2 data center complexes in Pennsylvania. So, like, these are the exact promises that, like, every locality is bending over backwards for. Let's see. One data center is being built next to northeastern Pennsylvania's Susquehanna nuclear power plant. The other will be in Fairless Hills at logistics campus in the Keystone Trade Center on what was once a U.S. steel mill. Like, this is a perfect example of, like, the stories like this where it's like, You gotta just let them build these plants, but yet when it comes to building these data centers, like, no one seems to give a shit about the grid, right? Like, no one cares about the grid with these data centers just chugging down power. But for the last decade or 15 or 20 years, we've been arguing with people about electric vehicles and how the grid can't handle electric vehicles, right? I feel like I'm living in, like, absolute, like, bizarro world with this stuff, realistically. Let's see. What I'm trying to figure out is the tech jobs that are going to come from these. What are they trying? How many jobs are they trying to say come from this? The majority owner of the Susquehanna nuclear power plant, Talon Energy, announced last year that it had sold its data center to Amazon for $650 million in a deal to eventually provide 960 megawatts. That's 40% of the output of one of the nation's largest nuclear power plants, or enough power for more than 500,000 homes. Ugh. However, the arrangement between Talon and Amazon, called a air quote behind-the-meter connection, has been held up by a federal energy regulatory commission in the first such case to come before the agency. Yeah. Yeah, it's a wonder if Amazon strikes a deal to chew up 40% of the output of this fucking nuclear power plant, right? What's going to happen to everybody's energy rates that are already fucking skyrocketing? And the funny thing is that all of the reasons that the electrical rates are raising up across the country have everything to do with these transmission deals. And on top of the fact that we are exporting LNG, liquid natural gas, we are exporting a shitload of LNG now too, which is crazy. Yeah, it's funny that article was saying that Idaho has the cheapest electricity, whereas it was saying that Idaho's average price is 11.5 cents per kilowatt, and then strangely enough, Washington State is 9.8 cents a kilowatt. So why would they post Idaho as the cheapest, whereas Washington is like markedly cheaper than Idaho? I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. Why would they do that? Is there a reason? Do you think? Is there a reason that they would want to? They would want you to idolize Idaho over Washington, right? Because all the libcucks living in Washington, right? Let's see. Hawaii is just the worst. 32 cents a kilowatt. Hawaii's out of control. Witchy Cat's here. Witchy, we can't move to Hawaii. It's too expensive. The electricity's too expensive.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
The electricity's just too gosh darn expensive.
Too hot anyway, so.
Well, they have a mountain with snow on it.
That's true. Is it prone to blowing up? No, that's the other mountain.
No,
Yeah,
well, they're all prone to blowing up. I mean, why not? Where's the mountain with snow on it? Hawaii. Because I was trying to get a snowboard so I could go down the. By the way, it was really shitty snow. I'll tell you that. Mauna Kea. That's right. The snow was really bad when I was there, but I was trying to get a snowboard so I could go board down it. Couldn't get one, so we went up and just like sledded down it with our makeshift sleds.
Okay.
But there's mountain snow. So there's I'm saying there's a cold place you could live. You could just go up on the mountain, live up on the volcano there. It'll snow on you. You'll feel just like you're at home.
I was going to say, I don't necessarily want this. There's got to be an in-between point for me. That's kind of what I'm aiming for at this stage. But
no way. You just get blasted with frosty coldness.
on the plus side for Hawaii, I mean, I've got the whole solar setup, so that part will make my energy much cheaper.
Hey.
I have it.
Hey, I got to tell you something.
Okay, what?
I got to tell you something.
Hey, tell me something.
So I went to the dentist this morning, early morning.
Rediscovered that you have teeth. Good to know.
Oh yeah, I rediscovered. I can feel them all the time.
All right.
A+, dude. I got an A+ today. I got an A+ from the my sage-like dental hygienist.
Sage-like.
Yeah.
Is he old with like a long, scraggly Fu Manchu beard?
No, she's an older gal. She's been doing it a long time.
All right.
Very nice lady. Very knowledgeable. You know, knows what's going on. Knows what time it is. You know, works early on a Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Got to be in there, get it going, just run the whole show by yourself early Monday morning kind of deal, you know?
Yeah.
You know, my dentist is Japanese and speaks very broken English.
Okay.
Which means that's like the level of expertise that you're looking for out of a dentist, right? Like this guy went through the whole dentistry rigmarole in Japan, right? And then moved to the States, which meant he had to get recertified again because the United States is ridiculous with that.
Yeah.
So the guy, like, you know, that dude like went to school twice to be a dentist. He's actually committed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's not even stuck in that career. Like, he's doubling down. So you're like, all right, a little level of trust here. That's good. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
And you know, like I said, got an A because I'm a boss, right? I'd be flossing, and I'd be taking care of my mouth. And by the way, I even asked him. I was like, "How important is this whole mouthwash thing?" Because I absolutely hate doing the mouthwash thing because it's just stupid. I don't know. I just feel like an asshole when I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I floss my teeth, I brush my teeth, I take care of my mouth good.
Why do I
What
have
is
to
this
switch?
part? I'm just standing there like swooshing
I don't wanna
spicy mint for a little bit. Like this isn't doing anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the lady was she's like, just stop doing that. Don't worry about it. That's
Well, that's good.
and I was like, that's good because I wasn't doing any of it. I'll
And
I'll
I
just
was not doing the switch.
I'll stop that because I've already have. You got it. Yeah.
Done,
So we got that handled. And that's good stuff. I like that. I like that when that happens, you know.
Yes.
I will say when I lived down south, my dental hygienist, when I lived down south, was a very attractive young lady. And I have to admit, I feel a little weird about the really attractive young lady, like, scraping around in my mouth hole.
Staring
You know?
into the face of an
I'm like,
attractive woman with her mouth gaping open.
do I have the halitosis? Right?
That's funny.
And so I find it more comfortable to have the sage-like lady who's just like, no, we're doing the work right now, you know?
Right.
You know? Which she was funny. She was like, I don't even need to polish your teeth today. That's ridiculous. You don't need it. You know, where they put and they go,
Yep.
and they polish your teeth.
Crappy flavor.
Yeah,
What rancid flavor would you like in your mouth for the rest
yeah,
of
she
the
was
day?
like, nah, that's a waste of time. And she was like, I'll do it if you want me to, but it's more detrimental to your teeth to just keep doing it all the time just cause, you know.
Right.
So yeah, good stuff. And they use that thing now that like shoots water out of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the mouth bidet.
No, it's this fucking tool. It's a crazy tool. What is
Oh,
that?
yes. A little tiny one.
Hold on. What do they call this thing? There's a name for it. Dentists use periodontal.
Ooh, look at you and the big words.
They call it, what's this thing called? It's the Biosonic. Okay, it's made by Biosonic. It's the US 100R. And so it's like, it's doing some kind of wacky doodle stuff. What does it do? It accommodates 25 kilohertz and 30 kilohertz inserts. Multi-directional foot pedal, turbo button. What the fuck does this thing do? Give me a description. What is it doing? It's doing something.
Shooting shit out of your face.
I mean, it's shooting the fuck out of your mouth. I'm telling you that. It's like, it's spewing water and there's, I don't know, something happening. Something in the hertz department, you know? HZ, not
pain.
Not pain. Not the quarterback for the Philadelphia Football Eagles either.
Good to know.
What the fuck? What are these things called?
It's like a water pick on steroids.
It's insane. I don't. Ultrasonic scalar. That's what it's called. Okay.
Okay.
This thing. It's ultrasonic. It's doing some ultrasonic in the hertz. In the hertz department. Is that right? Let me see. Let me see if this is the right thing. Scalar uses high frequency vibrations from 18,000 to over 45,000 cycles a second.
Wow.
To break up stubborn plaque and tartar. Water spray. A fine water spray is emitted from the tip to cool the instrument and flush away the dislodged plaque and bacteria from the treated area. There are three main types of ultrasonic scalars. Magnetostrictive, piezoelectric, and sonic. Okay, sonic was the easy one. Sonic was easy.
It's a hedgehog.
Yeah, they have the hedgehog type. Yeah, these things blast the shit out of stuff. Now, the funny thing is that I was talking to the gal. I'm like, oh man, the water coming out of there is cold. And she's like, yeah, the first couple patients of the day, you guys get cold water. You know, as it starts out cold, and she's like, the machine does heat it up, because it's funny because you start for the first couple minutes, it's like, oh, it's cold, and then it warms up, and you know, and I was like, I put my hand up, I'm like, okay, the water's warm now, and she's like, okay. Yeah, she's like, yeah, because she's like, we fill it up in the morning, and you know, the tap water around here now, it's already frozen, everything's frozen already here where I'm at, so
Yes.
The tap already comes out as ice water, which, by the way, gives me so much joy. We'll call it a cheeseburger erection, right? It's an erection that's so big you can set a cheeseburger on it psychologically.
Psychologically. Well,
psychologically. You wouldn't be able to.
Psychological, that's good.
I mean, you could set a cheeseburger on my wang, but it wouldn't. You'd have to balance it, and then that's a whole thing,
Yeah. Such a weirdo.
But the thing with the tap water, when it comes out ice cold, man, I have a powerful lust for that. I love it so much. When it just comes out of the tap icy, and I just have myself a big old glass of water.
Especially in the middle of the night when you wake up with that dry mouth.
Yep, and you're like, oh my god, I need a glass of water, and then I'll go down like a 24 ouncer of water, and then I'll wake up at 4:30 in the morning because I got to pee because I'm an old man,
Yep.
Old man. Although Vicky gave me a verbal berating this weekend.
Uh-oh.
In a nice way, because she's like, "You're turning into a goddamn silver fox, you asshole." And I'm like, "Ha ha! Well, it's not doing anything for me, so it doesn't matter." And then she got real mad. Yes. Yep. How's your weekend going? I saw some snow pics, so now you're fucking snowed in.
I am snowed in. I am.
Who's the Snowden guy? What's that guy's name? Eric?
Oh.
Richard? What's his name?
I don't remember.
Peter?
What his first name is.
Juan?
The weird albino who releases secrets.
Hunter Snowden? Isn't that his name? I don't know. Whatever the fucking Snowden guy's name is. You're Snowden now, right?
I am. I wish I was hiding in France. That would be excellent. Much better than here, but no.
Is he in France? I thought he's in Russia.
He's in Russia now, but I think that he was in France for a while.
Was he really?
And then they tried to extradite him.
Where did Snowden travel to? I never watched the stupid movie because I just don't even care.
Oh, yeah.
Snowden flew from Hong Kong to Moscow. No, he never went to France.
Okay.
And apparently he's been stranded in Moscow since 2013.
Well, that's depressing.
Never went to France, only Hong Kong.
Okay.
He was doing the Hong Kong Fooey #1.
It must have been the other one then.
#1 super guy? Is it Hong Kong Fooey #1 super guy?
I don't remember
Hong Kong Fooey lyrics. We can't look up the song because we get immediately fucking smashed by any identification. Yeah, Hong Kong Fooey, #1 super guy, Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye.
Oh,
fuck!
Right,
I would have never remembered that. Yeah, for your listening pleasure, the Hong Kong Fooey theme song. That was all super loud. Jeez Louise. Why'd they have the sound turned all the way up? Who was that?
It does not know.
Oh, my lord. Oh, my ears have been blown out. Somebody's getting blown out.
I see you've got a painting back there this week.
There is a painting back there. It was sitting down over here, and then I worked on the bottom of my tank, which you guys will never. Well, I don't know. I don't know that you guys will never see it, but I worked on the sump and the filters and all that stuff. I'm saying that the live stream will never see it because it's below this area here. It's downward.
Right.
It's where it's in the area where I'm not wearing pants, so I can't show you what's going on down there. But that painting was down there, and I was like, it's in the way. I'm gonna go put it up here.
Good call.
So I put it up there.
And there it is.
And there's a big ass light still up there. It's in the perfect spot for recording shit, so I just leave that light there. Even though it's fully adjustable, I built a whole rack up there so you can adjust everything. You can just clamp it and move it and turn it and wiggle it and do all the stuff. What's that?
I said, and then have not touched it since then?
It's in the right spot. I just turn it on.
There you go.
It's currently been in the right spot. Although there's like a tape measure. What else is back there? Tape measure, some other crap, some other container of paintbrushes. I've been using my easel back there. Okay, let me rephrase what I was saying. My intentions were to use my easel right back there, but I've been painting over there on the other side, and then I was like, well, maybe the easel here is being terrible. It's not good. So maybe I'll use this as, maybe I'll paint over here, and then you guys could get a progress report, but I don't know. But I did put that monitor up back there a while ago, and I completely forgot that I put the monitor up there so that I could put a camera up there and then stream while I paint. But I just haven't had the energy to like put pants on for streaming, you know?
Unfortunate.
It's a thing, right? Where you're like, well, I gotta not be like scratching my butt and farting a lot while I'm like painting, you know, if I'm streaming, you know?
Well, the farting we don't necessarily, unless you're really loud. I mean, you already burped, so we might as well get air from the other end. But
I have burped. I am a human being. Thank you.
I know. That's my point.
I don't know why you're being so rude to me right now. I thought we were friends. Yeah, I burp every once in a while. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Nobody super chatted, so it doesn't matter. I don't have anyone specific to. Oh, yeah. Although the stream is getting blacklisted more and more, we are getting a smaller and smaller audience. Eventually, it'll just be you and I here chatting about stuff. And yeah, that's. I mean, is there any other way? Is there any other way that it should be?
I don't know. Mark is here for the first time in a while.
Mark is here. Mark mentioned. What did you guys say earlier? Yeah, it's harder and harder to. Oh, yeah, Mark was asking me last week. It was like Ohio State or Michigan, and I'm like, it's Ohio State. I mean, you should. I'm not saying that people should bet on anything, but and I didn't mention it in there, but realistically, it was like if you were going to bet, I would have bet on Ohio State beating Michigan, and they crushed them. Ohio State just manhandled them up and down. Oh my God! Someone has ordered a vibrator. Somebody ordered a vibrator. I don't know who, but it was somebody. Oh, mission accomplished, Witchy Cat. We have accomplished. Well, I mean, obviously, we would want to sell more vibrators if we could.
I was going to say, does that mean we're going to move on to something even weirder? Because it'd be fun.
We could move on to something weird. I'm not sure what's weirder. I'm not sure what makes people more uncomfortable than the idea of women having orgasms, right? I'm not sure. I can't think of something. Fair. I can't think of something that is more like directly making people uncomfortable than the idea that like women would be having an enjoyable time.
That is
I don't
fair.
know, you know. I will work on it. I will work on coming up with a new product. But somebody reminded me today that it's Cyber Monday, and so I'm really, really supposed to tell you guys to go shop on Amazon.
Except we're not shopping on Amazon.
Frankly, I don't care if you. You know what? My mom was telling me about this boycott. She's like, "We're gonna boycott," and I'm like, "No, you're not. You aren't. No one has organized anybody to boycott anything. It's not happening." And by the way, all of the Amazon type boycotts that have happened in the past, I hate to break the news to you guys. If you look at the sales, it's like, oh, the boycott happens for a day, and then sales double the next day. So it's like if people just wait until the next day and then order the crap that they were going to order the day before. That's all that happens. And I'm like, this is utterly pointless. It's like it's like if you were to tell somebody like, well, you're grounded, okay? You're going to be grounded, you know, you're not going to get to watch your TV, and then tomorrow it's like you give them another TV so they have two TVs to watch at the same time. You know, you're like, what?
One with
I don't.
each eye.
This didn't work, guys. You didn't do the thing. What was it there was something that I wanted to share with you guys, but I can't find it now. I'm like during stream trying to figure out like where I put it. I put it somewhere in the Amazon stuff. Because the problem is like even if I tried to like recommend people a good deal these days, it's like it's hard to even know if it actually is a good deal, right? Because they do so much manipulating of prices. And the funny thing is that Black Friday, Olivia was staying with Grandma and Grandpa. So Vicky and I were here just like working on parent stuff, right? Like we're just like fucking around with the house. We're like moving plants. We're, just doing stupid parent stuff. Like, oh, let's clean this thing up. Let's move this shelf over there or whatever, right? Just dumb shit. And and one of our old neighbors had dropped off these old antique lamps, so that they wanted me to rewire these old lamps for them, figure out what's wrong with it, and rewire them, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. So I was trying to organize some shit in my shop, and I was like, oh, what are these two fucking gigantic silver lamps doing here? And Vicky was like, oh yeah. Those are the ones I told you about. They dropped them off this morning. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to fix these lamps. Let's run over to the old Home Depot, right? Because I'm like, well, because I checked the lamp and it's like, oh, it's the socket at the top. They were the really archaic style ones, and they had, they just shorted themselves out, right? Like the new bulbs versus the old connection. It's like it sort of works for a while, and then
all of a sudden it just gives.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, the lamp doesn't work anymore. You're like, yeah, because there was fire inside here, bro. It's all scorched. So anyhow, I was like, oh, that's pretty easy. I'll just replace those. But they are, Alyssa says, antique lamps. Tell me more about these antique lamps. They were antique. They're like solid. They were heavy. They're heavy as fuck because they're solid ass silver lamps. I mean, all of the shrouds and all of the pieces were all made out of silver. They're silver. Like I even tested them. I'm like, yeah, these are silver. Okay. So I couldn't replace any of the parts. I had to take the whole head apart, which is like you take the shroud off, you take this part off, you take that part off, then you yank it out, get it, and then you can get it out. So then I had to go buy new ones and then take those all apart so I could put the part back in. Kind of interesting, but also stupid. I mean, it's two wires. I mean, it's not like, oh, look at this guy. He's doing some wizard shit. Like, no. But they're mismatched. They're two completely different lamps. But mismatched. I guess I should have taken some pictures of them, but I didn't want to potentially expose the lamps to the world. They're not my lamps.
Privacy for the lamps, very important.
I don't know. Fuck all if I know about like lamp shit from the past. I don't know. I mean, I've watched Antiques Roadshow lots of times. You know what I mean? I love that show.
Yeah, it's fun.
That show is hot, dude. The Antiques Roadshow, fuck, so good. I could watch that shit all day. People bring in a fucking rug, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is from the 4th century Ming Dynasty. How did you get this?" And it's like, well, my great grandpa stabbed everybody in fucking Turkey and came back with this rug, and you're like, the shit, bro, what's that worth? And they're like, $680,000 at auction, probably. You better get some insurance before you leave here, and you're like, huh? Oh. And then you start looking around for your own rugs, and you're like, do I have any rugs? And then you're like, this Mickey Mouse rug is probably not worth anything. Okay, fuck it. All right, we're cool.
This rug stained by the dog.
Yeah, the poop stain dog situation. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I love Antiques Roadshow. But anyhow, those lamps, I don't know anything about it. So, and they weren't my lamps, so I didn't want to take pictures of them and post them up and then potentially hear something from somebody like, you shouldn't have posted those. Yeah, just weird. I mean, I figure if I was going to make a lamp video, I'll just go to, what's that place? Salvation Army, and just buy an old lamp and then rewire it and then make a video out of it, I guess. I don't know. But regardless, I got that done. And then I don't know where this story goes anymore because I don't even forget why I was telling you the story. What was I?
You were explaining antique lamps at the request of Alyssa.
Oh, right. I was explaining the antique lamps. But, the reason I brought up this story is that we were going to go to Home Depot to get the lamp parts. And, my God, I couldn't even get there. It was standing still traffic madness. Like miles off. People were driving to, so where the Home Depot is, there's like shopping stuff. Right. It's like shopping stores. You know what I mean? Have you ever been to a shopping store before?
I have been to a shopping store.
Have you been to a shopping store? Is it like a thing that you ever been to?
Weird.
There's like a shopping center. I don't know what you call it. Like it's like a bunch of strip malls. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a bunch of strip malls.
A shopping center.
Yeah, it's like a shopping center with the RE, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like somebody was saying they go to Bass. Did they say go to Bass Pro Shops or where did they go? Cabela's?
That was D-Rock.
Was it Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops?
It was Bass. Cabela's is more fun, but it was Bass.
Cabela's is pretty tits, but Bass Pro Shops is pretty tits also. They're both good. Bass Pro Shops has a big fucking tank in it. Technically, you went to the aquarium.
Ish.
But you went to the aquarium. If you went to Bass Pro Shops. Because they have a big...
I don't think I've been to the big Bass Pro Shop one. I've been to several of the shops themselves, but I've been to the main Cabela's a couple of times when I was in Missouri.
Is it, Oh, that's why there's no fish tank. It's a Cabela's. There's a Cabela's over there.
Yeah.
The Bass Pro Shops has a big-ass aquarium in it, though. They all do. All locations contain an aquarium, as well as animal statues, waterfalls, etc. 14 of the stores have replica natural habitat displays created by treescapes and plant works. Look at that. One of the reasons they do that is they put that giant aquarium in there because then now they are an aquarium and they get a huge tax break for it. Did you know that?
Did not, but now I know.
Because you qualify as a zoo or something on your tax filings. We're Bass Pro Shops of the Aquarium tax exempt. Museum. Oh, it counts as a museum. That's why.
Cool. All right.
Museum or public attraction tax deduction. This is not a federal exemption, but it is the local taxes. They will get a local tax exemption for being a museum or public attraction. Yeah. It's I mean, I think that's the reason that they started doing it. It might not apply to every store, but you know, keep up with the tradition after that. If somebody was looking to get an action camera, this thing says that that this is a good idea. We're gonna go over here to this one. The DJI now does a 360 camera that is on a Cyber Monday deal, apparently. And we don't know if it's a good deal. We're going to use the Camelizer to check if it's a good deal. Holy shit, it actually is a good deal.
Woohoo.
This is the lowest price it has ever been by $75. Yeah. This is the lowest that a 360 camera has ever been. The DJI 360 camera has ever been. And I'll get the link for you guys in case you guys wanted to get a 360 camera, because we're an affiliate. We're an Amazon affiliate, and if you buy through our Amazon links, we get a commission. Just like when you buy a vibrator. Like somebody actually bought a vibrator. I hope it's bringing them joy. That's really the big deal for me. Is this going to bring somebody joy?
Bring people joy.
Even if it's just momentary, right? Even if it's just like momentary joy from the toil that we're living in, this mortal coil that we're living in here. You guys have been clicking through a lot of links the last couple. I think you guys are doing a Thanksgiving shop-a-thon. I think that's what was going on. You guys are shopping hard on Thanksgiving. Clicking away. Probably trying to buy all your vibrators before the boycott, I would say.
That's funny.
I would say, for sure.
Sweet.
Is there anything else interesting off of the listings here? Dang, vibrator high five. Lols. That's right. But Mark, we were talking about being a Cardinals fan. Quite difficult, and I do feel bad. I feel bad for people that are the Arizona football Cardinals fans, because I just don't even know what that the ownership group there is even. I don't even know what they're trying to do at this point. It's very confusing. And I have to admit, there are the what's the fourth team I'm trying to think of? The fourth team I'm trying to think of. Here we go. Oh, it's the Browns. Okay, that was the fourth one I was trying to think of. Between the Arizona Cardinals, the Raiders, wherever the Raiders choose to be this next year, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Cleveland Browns. Did I say the Cleveland Browns twice?
Yes, you just did, but that's okay.
What was the other one? Raiders, Cardinals, Browns, Jaguars. There we go.
Yeah.
Those are the four. Those are the four that are just so confounding to me every year. I don't know what is going on. like there has to be a point in time where you actually know football well enough that you just accidentally get a winning team, right? Like you can evaluate players well enough. You can manage the salary cap well enough, and you draft players well enough that eventually you just get a winning team. But they consistently can't get it together for like decades now, you know? And it's ridiculous, and I don't understand it. And to me, even from the outside looking in, it really like I feel bad. Like I have empathy for the fans. When did the Super Bowl? Yeah, 2009. The last appearance was 2009, and you lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'm familiar with that. The Seattle football Seahawks also lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. Just, nightmarish stuff.
Right.
When did they last win the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl.
1998. 1998 was the last time. And the last appearance was 2008, 2009. Yeah, okay. Feels bad. And the thing is that like I would have put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on my mental list too, but they managed to win some Super Bowls. They managed to win some games. Right. Even though they're the only team with the only losing record, like an entire season being defeated. They went a whole season where they didn't win a game. My camera is fucking up today and not focusing on me because there's a face in the background. So it's gonna focus on that one. It was doing it. I caught it doing it. So I guess I got to get that painting out of there because it's making my camera focus on other shit. That's like the Cubs 100-year no World Series. Well, I mean, you also have to remember that the Seattle Mariners have never won ever in their are they in their I believe they're in their 50th season.
Okay.
This might have been their 50th season. No. Not yet. Close. It's coming. Well, the Mariners have never won. I mean, you start getting into baseball, you start getting into some fucking weird statistics. But the Seattle Mariners had lost the most out of any franchise in any professional sports in the United States for the longest amount of time. They had the longest losing streak to making it to the playoffs. What was it? How many? Let's see. Seattle Mariners. Was it? So it was a full 20. Yeah, it was a full 20 years. They didn't make it to the postseason, which is the most out of any sport or any team out of any sport. NHL, NFL, basketball, NBA, right? Hockey. You even include hockey. And a team will make it to the playoffs.
Eventually, was by mischance, if nothing else.
And the weird thing is that the last season that they made it to the playoffs in 2001, they had the most wins that any baseball team has ever had in one season. 116 wins. They lost in the playoffs, and then after that, there's 20 years of not even making it to the playoffs, which is it's insane. I mean, it's like I don't even know how to compare that. What's that a metaphor of? What's that a metaphor? I can't think of one. I can't think of an analogy, a metaphor, nothing. I don't know, man. Arizona Cardinals were the St. Louis Cardinals. Then were the Chicago Cardinals. So much losing. Yeah, that's right. Well, now they got the Bears. And St. Louis has nothing. St. Louis deserves nothing. They get nothing. They deserve nothing.
Why do I think they still had it? All right, I must be losing my mind.
They can be Chiefs. Just be Chiefs fans. You know.
Close enough. They can borrow them.
Same difference.
Maybe Colts fans. It's about equidistance either way from Indianapolis or.
Yeah, where is it on a map? Let's take a look. St. Louis on a map. Mizzou. I've been there. They deserve no football team. I've been there.
They should have their arch taken away.
Let's see. I've been to Kansas City. I've been to St. Louis. I've been to Springfield. I've been to Peoria.
Which Springfield?
I've been to Des Moines. Springfield, Illinois. I was bringing the Illinois. I had to drive up to Springfield to go. Where were we going? I know we had to go around. We had to go around to go somewhere. Where were we going? What?
Chicago, maybe? Michigan?
I've never driven to Chicago. I've always flown in there. I never drove to Chicago. There's never a reason. They have an international airport. You can just fly there.
I know, but trust me, the drive is 8 million times better than having to deal with O'Hare.
O'Hare's
I hate
crazy.
O'Hare.
I mean, O'Hare's like a wild airport. I kind of like flying into it just because of how wild it is.
It's one of the
Like
two biggest in the world. It and
the way
Heathrow.
that the way that O'Hare is laid out just gives me O'Hare Airport. We gotta get a visual aid.
This
Um,
is the time when we
map?
bash
Do we gotta get
O'Hare.
a map? We gotta get a map. I think images.
Yeah, it's almost city sized.
We need a good map. We need a good map here. Oh, here it is. Oh, somebody burped into the microphone. It was fucking me. You know, I did it again, guys.
Hey man,
I let you
that
down.
one was on,
I let you down, man. I'm sorry.
that one was on Alyssa. She paid top dollar for that belch.
Paying for the last on-camera burp that occurred on stream, $5. Okay. Well, somebody's got to pay up for that next one that happened there. Because
There's more coming.
fuck burps, man, it's happening. Where is a good map of O'Hare that actually has a rendering? Let's see. No, that's just one of the wings. Where's the? Oh, here it is. Yeah, yeah. This madness right here. It's so fucking worth it. Like if you've never flown into a wackadoo airport, like this is one of them. This is one of the absolute wackadoo airports, because if you look at this, they got a terminal over here. They got a terminal over here, and it makes these. I don't even know, what are these, like ovary shaped situation here? Like, why do they go out like that? I don't know, but they do. There's two of them, and then there's one here that sticks out long. But then these go this way, and this goes this way, and then if you come in international, you're like over here in this whole other shit, and then you got to get on the train. You got to go on the train, goes over here. But like, I swear, every time I fly into O'Hare, this is what happens to me. I'll be like one day I came in and I landed on terminal, and my plane was over here, terminal 3, right? And I was like, oh, word. My plane that's leaving is down the other wing down here on terminal 3, so I don't even need to go to a different terminal. So I walk all the way down. This is a long ways, by the way. Walk all the way down here. I walk all the way down here, and then I go up to my gate, and they're like, "Nah, bro, you're over in terminal 2, all the way down here on the end of this one." And so I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, I go down here, and then I like get on the train, and then the train takes me over here, and then I go out here, and then I go all the way down there, and I barely made it. It's fucked. And then I flew in international once into this terminal, and then my plane was somewhere. I don't know. One of these. Oh, here's like an even crazier illustration. It's not loading. Where's our pixels? Internet. Send me pixels. No? Okay. It's all pixelated. It's not loading. Load yourself. Load yourself. No? You don't like it? Okay. Well, what about this image? Oh, this image looks crispy. Yeah, it's fucking crazy town, man. You'll get in on like C-18 over here, and then your flight is over at K-17 over here, all the way on the other side, and you're like, derping your way all the way through the whole freaking rigmarole with just shitloads of dum-dums in the way, you know. So I like it because of the excitement, you know what I mean? Because it brings
like roulette.
It brings some excitement to your travels, you know. As you guys know, I got trapped in fucking Amsterdam one time. You know, you guys remember that?
Yeah.
You don't remember that, but I do.
I don't.
I remember. Fucking Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Pepperidge Farms? Okay.
Pepperidge Farms remembers. Okay?
All right.
What's
Well,
this?
if you really want to do a thing, then you go from O'Hare to Heathrow and lose your mind, because you've just hit the two largest airports in the world, neither of which make any sense.
Now, wait a hot minute here. D-Rock's originally from Joliet.
Oh, he knows where the prison is.
Is the
after you get
prison
the
there?
band back together. Yes, there
Is
is
the
a
prison
state
there?
prison. Yep.
Where's ours?
One of the,
Do you know where ours is?
which one? There's one in Walla Walla. There's one in. There's a couple.
Monroe.
Monroe. There you go.
Monroe, out there by the state. Fuck, what do you call it? The state fairgrounds. Yep. It's okay, Joel. I get the reference. Oh, good. We stay young. Alyssa and I, we stay young. We stay youthful and vigorous or something.
Well, then you're not going to become a silver fox. You can't be young and a silver fox.
I sure can. I can do whatever I want. But Mark says avoid Michigan. True. I would say true. I would say recently somebody's arguing with me about how the roads in Michigan are better than the roads in Washington, and I'm like, I don't. This is like one of those conversations where it's like, I don't think we can have this conversation anymore because I don't think I'm having a conversation with somebody who is acting with any level of sanity at all. You know, I'm like, I have driven around Michigan, and there are parts of Michigan where you'll be on like, and only because I'm looking at the map right now, like I drove on 96, I drove on 94, I drove on 196 to Saugatuck. I went through there. I went through Grand Haven, Muskegon. I went there. I drove all the way around until I got to Milwaukee. I had to go all the way around because you fucking lame ass pieces of shit don't have any fucking boats that go across this fucking lake.
Oops.
Is there a boat here? Ooh, there might be a ferry boat right here.
Okay.
The SS Badger. The Lake Michigan Car Ferry Service. I probably should have taken that. There wasn't a ferry at the time. I mean, I'm saying I bet you there was a ferry, but I don't think we could get on it. I think that was the problem. This is a tiny ass ferry too. Look at this tiny ferry.
You guys don't five cars.
You guys can't even do ferries right. Oh no, it looks kind of beefy. I don't know. It looks small compared to the Washington State ones.
Yeah.
You know. Our ferries here are thick, bro. You know what I mean?
Right. How else are we gonna take out docks randomly for no
adventures? Ours go in the fucking ocean though, dude. Ours are seafaring vessels.
True.
Just because it's a big lake doesn't mean it's the sea, okay? We don't need to have that talk, do we? Do we have to have that talk? Do we have to have the talk that Lake Michigan isn't an ocean?
Isn't an ocean?
You know? It's the same thing, like when I have people that will come visit, like friends that will be their first time. It'll be their first time to the Pacific. It'll be their first time to the Pacific Northwest, as we like to call it around here. And they'll be from like Illinois or something, and they're like, yeah, man, I've been to the Great Lakes. Like, I've been to the fucking woods. I've been to the shit. Like, I know what's going on. I'm making fun of an imaginary person. But they'll come to the Pacific Northwest, right? They'll come here, and then they're like 3 or 4 days into it, they're like, this is crazy. Do you understand, like, how crazy it is where you live? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I fucking live here, you dipshit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've been to Illinois. I've been to fucking Michigan. I've been to fucking Wisconsin. You know, I've been there. I've been to Missouri. Right?
Missouri.
The only reason that Missouri had some appeal is that I have some friends there. So A, that's cool, right? And B, houses were like $1,000. So I was like, well, maybe we just do that, you know? Maybe we just buy $1,000 house. What's that?
And they don't have building codes outside of the cities.
Oh, yeah. We were in a place where it's like they're like, what? Inspector? What? Nah, we don't.
You built it, it fell down and killed you.
Yeah. Well, you're dead now. You know, we don't. That's not our problem. You died.
Too bad.
Dude, lol, you don't want to go across Lake Michigan? Pass.
There's a pass?
So Wyoming does get Wyoming. Well, to be clear, parts of Wyoming. Okay, let's be clear here. There's lots of big sagebrush covered parts of Wyoming that are useless turds.
The jackalopes roam.
Let's go Lander, Wyoming. I want to see where it is, because I don't want to give you a free pass. Do not want to give you a free pass. And saying yes, Lander, Wyoming, because I am one of those people that has to look at the map so that I can remember where I've been. Wind River Reservation. Oh God, fucking beauty, dude. The beauty. Okay, Lander gets a pass. Lander gets 100 gets a pass because I went through the Wind River Reservation through this road here. Oh, it's sexy. It's so very sexy. It is equitable to Washington State's sexiness. There are parts of Wyoming, and it's the upper left corner. It's the specific northwest corner of Wyoming. Okay, the rest of Wyoming is a fucking a blight on the earth. Okay, like it is
more of a blight than the Dakotas, or less of a blight than the Dakotas.
It's equitable to the blight of the bad Dakota, not the Badlands. The bad Dakota. Okay. Which one's the bad? Where are the Badlands? I forget which one they're in.
South, I believe.
South has some good stuff. North has no good stuff, right? Is that? Right. Am I correct?
Well, it's got Fargo.
Yeah, which is a blight. That's just wind-blown fucking tumbleweed, sagebrush nonsense.
Yeah, but they're kind of funny looking.
It's just wind-burned. It's just wind-burned earth. Right. So Lander gets a pass because I was actually looking at buying a property in close to Lander. What's the name of it? Dubois. In Dubois. Dubois, right? So if you are there, they'll say Du Bois, right? Because fuck them, even though it's a French word, right? They'll just say it wrong and then be like, well, look, it's American now. You're like, God, what is wrong with you people? Like, fuck, come on. But yeah, I was looking at a property in Dubois because it is close. Because as you guys know, I do want to live on the Grand Tetons. That's where I want to live. I want to live there and stare at them as I slowly decay into my death. The Grand Tetons are my favorite thing on the planet, I think, so far. You just say all right, but like that's not, you don't just say all right to that, okay? You say, you are correct, sir. The Grand Tetons are the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. And then I go, yes. And then you go, yes, correct, sir. The Grand Tetons are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I go, yes, you're right. And then you go, yes, sir, right?
Yes, sir,
I love the Grand Tetons. I drove Vicky to the Grand Tetons to show her 100%. She thought I was going to propose to her there. But I'm saying it's still an option. You know, you could just do it anyhow, right? I love the Grand Tetons. I love the Grand Teton National Park. I would go there every year if it was feasible. Jackson Hole is out of control expensive now. It is beyond the pale. I used to go there when I was a kid. Jackson Hole was just like a cool town with fucking ski people and shit, and it was badass. Nowadays, it is like $100 to park your car on the street in a public parking spot. It's crazy how expensive Jackson Hole is. It is fucking wild. And I think they call it Jackson now. They're like, we can't call it Jackson Hole anymore.
You can't call it a hole anymore.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It's Jackson Hole. I don't give a fuck if you changed a sign somewhere, you dill hole. You Jackson Hole.
Is an important part.
You Jackson Hole. Yeah, we did want to, we were really considering buying a property in Dubois. And just moving out there and just living out and doing it and doing the whole thing.
Living out your days in the off-grid world.
Yeah, but the problem was that we couldn't transfer Vicky's job at the time, so that was going to be an absolute hardship.
Pre-pandemic.
Oh yeah. No, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because we couldn't move. The states that we could move to were Utah. No, scratch that out. That's wrong. Not Utah. Colorado,
Idaho.
California, Idaho, not Idaho, not Oregon. I'm trying to figure out the other states by looking at them to see if I have some memory recall. Yeah, those were the three that were possible that we considered moving to. We looked at a couple of properties in Colorado. They were way too expensive though. But Wyoming might have been a thing. Might have been a thing. It was close. It was close to us making a decision to do it. But then we ended up going to Tacoma instead. Which worked out. I mean, I don't know why you were laughing at that. I thought you were my friend.
Well, just comparing Tacoma to the Tetons.
Listen to me when I say it worked out.
Okay.
All right. I got a beautiful daughter, and you can't say it didn't work out. Holy shit. What is going on outside? I'm taking a break. You got to find out what's going on outside.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Are dogs barking? People arriving?
The sky has opened up. It is dark. It's so dark. My nighttime outdoor lights are on, and it is hailing and raining so hard that the nighttime lights have turned on.
Wow.
And it's causing a ruckus down the old side pipe, the gutter pipe. The gutter pipe is busting loose with hail and water. The moistness is flying out of the sky right now, super hard. So I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Although I'm trying to track the weather because I got some concrete I got to pour for the chicken coop build. And I was hoping that tomorrow was going to be good. But then it started fucking around and getting super cold at night. So I'm still looking for a window now. The problem is that Saturday was going to be the perfect window to pour. And then we had to go to our second or third Thanksgiving thing.
Hey, it's good to have family.
Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Just got a notification. But I was going to I had a perfect window to pour on Friday into Saturday. But I couldn't get the concrete on Friday. The local truck couldn't do it on Friday, so I was just gonna get the bags delivered, you know. But then the local delivery guy couldn't deliver the pallet on Friday. But they were like, "Yeah, Saturday we can come early Saturday morning," and I was like, "Okay, word." And I basically almost ordered it. And then serendipitously, my mom called and was like, "Hey, wait! I thought you were going to the Thanksgiving thing on Saturday." And I'm like, "Fuck! Okay, good thing I didn't order it and have it dropped off and get rained on now." Yeah, so bit of a weird time to try and do any kind of concrete work. And the weather windows are not doing well. Do you do CO2 in that aquarium? Dem some healthy plants. Yeah, plants are doing fine in there. And yes, I do inject some CO2 into the from the sump to the return up to the tank, but nothing crazy. To be honest with you, I don't even know if this tank even needs CO2. Recently, I wonder what the pH is sitting at. Let me see. Ugh.
Are you still at a minimal number of guppies in there, or have they?
There's one. I have one guppy.
Okay.
I have one guppy that lives in a 120-gallon aquarium.
There you go. The loneliest guppy in the world.
Yeah, he's a little. Where is he? I don't know. I saw him earlier. I don't know where he went. We're on Guppy Watch right now. Let's see if we can't find Mr. Guppy Man. I've not named him, so. Oh, I thought I saw him, but it was a snail falling off. Oh, there he is back there. He's in the back.
Oh, he's got some snail friends.
He's in the very back. He's in the very back. He's in the very back on this side. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's swimming around. I'm probably looking for a girl, I would guess. There you go. There he goes. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He does his thing. He's just living in there. He's just living in a gigantic tank all by himself. I collect snow to melt for the pH. The city water here is rough. That's true. Arizona's fucking water is insane. I will say that. It's maddening. Although I do like, there are definitely parts of Arizona that I like. I definitely enjoyed Sedona and Flagstaff. I think that if I moved to Arizona, I think I would move to Flagstaff, because you get the most snow in the world. Yep. What is it, like the most snow at a big city elevation? I don't know. They had some statistic, but they get tons of snow, and then you can just drive down into Sedona. You could drive down to the Grand Canyon all the time, and drive down to Sedona and drive around to a bunch of other stuff too. But I'm not interested in the social dynamics that are Arizona at this point. A lot of like sweaty, leather-skinned, old fucking MAGA hat wearing Karens live there, and they're just wandering around all sunburnt and leather-skinned. I don't know. They think it's a good look, I guess. I don't know. They think it's good. They think it's great. They think Trump's awesome, and they're a huge pain in the ass. And I don't like to encounter like ridiculously pain in the ass people like 5, 10, 20 times a day. So, and some people would say like, well, it's not a big deal. You just limit your interactions or whatever, right? And it's like, well, I don't want to limit my interactions with the world just because there's a large group of unhinged people just rabble-rousing around. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense to me, right?
No, it doesn't. Says the woman in the mountain.
Although there are a lot that, Arizona is a pretty much a purple state, realistically, when you actually get down to it. It's pretty split 50-50. The unhinged are more sun-scorched, I think, is the issue. Like, I think they're really I mean, they're close to having heat stroke or something. You know what I mean? Like, they're just kind of brain fried. You know what I mean?
Old cantankers set in their ways and sun scorched.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's the, 17 days hitting up the happy hour, sitting out in the hot sun consecutively.
Right.
Is sort of frying them a little bit. You know what I mean?
My mom was one of those people, and she definitely was one of the leather-skinned, and they are terrifying to look at.
Well, it's a hard thing because they start yapping. They start yapping super hard. You know what I mean? And loud. They can't keep it in. You know.
Back in the day.
You know, and that's the thing is that like 99.9% of the time, when I'm out in public, you know, I am 100% minding my manners. You know what I mean? It's just how I operate myself. But that group of people seem to be operating on the inverse of the of what I just
Not minding their
mentioned.
manners.
Yeah, they're not.
They feel like they've earned the right to be
Yep.
souls.
Oh yeah, they want to talk to the manager. I mean, I'm saying that they're Karens on purpose. They want to talk to the manager. Like they feel like they're owed time with the manager. With the manager, right. You know. Just Skog says, "Come to Connecticut." You know what? I probably should. I probably should come to Connecticut. We got to find a thing to do.
The Northeast is the one place I haven't lived that I've considered, but after winters here, I don't think I could handle it. I've lived pretty much everywhere else in the country that I want to. I have no desire to live in the South, but...
Oh, you want to live in the South real bad?
No, I have no desire to live in the South.
Yeah, you want to move to Louisiana real bad?
Yeah, that's it. If I had to move anywhere in the South...
My dad is one of those Arizona people I hate when he's around. Had lost a friend to COVID right after lockdown, and he was spewing that vaccines were stupid. I lost my shit and told him to go tell my buddy's mom that the vaccines were stupid. Wait, what? Yeah, it's very difficult to deal with the unhinged Trump people at this point. Admittedly, there are a shitload of moderate Americans that sort of just flip the coin. I get it. That they just flipped a coin and they were like, well, I'm going to flip a coin. It's probably not that bad.
They're really both the same.
It's two wings of the same bird, which this fucking nonsense has been perpetrated by the Republican Party. Once again, you know, it's bullshit that they put on the news to convince people that, like, oh, this is all the same stuff. You know, they're all corrupt, right? And it's like, if they're corrupt, bring some charges. Press charges on them, right? And when I have tried to highlight to people that, like, I go, the Democrat Party, when shown corruption in their fellow politicians, right? They prosecute them and put them in jail, right? When the Republican Party is shown that they have a corrupt politician in their midst, they start hearings to obfuscate. They go on to news channels to talk about how all of the politicians are corrupt. They start launching other spin stories to the point where they start new wars overseas.
Then
right?
They put them in.
And one of the points that I would always direct people's attention to is when, what was his name? Shit, I can't remember his name.
That one guy.
Day before 9/11. Donald Rumsfeld
Donald Rumsfeld.
I'm trying to remember exactly what year. Yeah, February 2000. Donald Rumsfeld reported that $2.3 trillion was not supported by adequate audit trails or sufficient evidence to determine their validity. From the Pentagon.
Pentagon.
Yeah, Donald Rumsfeld was continually reporting about how $2 trillion was missing previous to 9/11 breaking off, which does not mean that 9/11 was brought to you by the Republican Party, but there was a ton of pressure being put on George W. Bush, if you guys don't recall, previous to 9/11, with the fact that he had already lost all of, if any, of his popularity, because Donald Rumsfeld kept coming out and being like, there's $2 trillion missing from the Pentagon, right?
Right.
And every conservative news group in the United States was trying to do everything they could to cover up, to cover it up, to cover it up, to cover it up. And after a short amount of time, because I believe it was 2001 when Rumsfeld did that big press conference, right? And then come a few months later, essentially, in the time of the world, so what, 8 months later, 9/11 happens, and then we spin up a war for the next 20 years, right? Which we are still, of course, going to continue to see the insane fallout from. And the current Republican Party is 100% steeped in that exact same fucking rhetoric that they were doing back then. This is not even new. I think it is 100% disgusting that anybody would shoot any National Guard members, but we are currently seeing the propaganda cycle just spun up to 1,000. That this guy from Afghanistan was brought to you by Joe Biden, apparently. Who, never mind the fact that that guy worked under the original Trump regime, hired by the CIA to do operations in Afghanistan, which is what gave him the validity to come to the United States. Right.
The Trump regime was the one who okayed him as recently as this year.
As recently as this year, approved him staying. Yep. After revoking approval, by the way, if anybody remembers that, it's because the Trump administration had removed the, what was that program called? Yeah, the Afghan resettlement program. What was it called? Operation Enduring Welcome is what it was called. Was slated for termination by the end of the fiscal year in 2025, but the Trump admin canceled it through the Homeland Security Department. They paused it in January of 2025. And yeah, so the 11,000 Afghani that are here in the United States that worked with the U.S. military, right? They all basically started getting paperwork, and from guess what? The fucking Doge motherfuckers, these idiots, right? They just decided we're going to cancel that, and the special immigrant visas, right? We're just gonna cancel that. We're gonna halt the process. We're just gonna fuck it up. So they started getting notification that they couldn't work in the U.S. Right?
Heaven forbid.
So there was an Afghani. No, this is gonna take a while to find. No, not National Guard. Of course, every article is going to be about the National Guard. officers. So there's body cam of one of the Afghanis. Nope. Of course, everything. See, this is the thing. Everything is going to be focused around the guy who shot the National Guardsman. But there is. We're gonna have to go deep into the machine here. We're gonna have to go deep into the searches, which is my point here, where all we're gonna talk about is these National Guardsmen. Here we go. We have to go to AOL.com. There's an actual body cam. There's a body cam police video of these unfortunate officers that got shot. And I'll read you the article here. Terrifying body cam footage captured the fatal shooting of a former translator for the American forces in Afghanistan who pulled a gun on 3 Virginia police officers and shouted, "I should have served with the fucking Taliban." Jamal Wali, 36, launched into an anti-American tirade telling cops he had a weapon after getting pulled over during a routine traffic stop in Fairfax, Virginia on April 23rd, 2025. According to police body cam footage, "I have a gun, I am armed, so why did you pull me over?" Wally asks the officer, who explains that the safety inspection sticker on his silver 1999 Toyota Corolla has expired. Wally immediately interjects, telling the officer, "Yeah, they know. Call Joe Biden or call George Bush." Which is weird that he would mention Joe Biden and George Bush and just completely leave out Trump, right? Which is weird. He says, "I don't have a driver's license." He asks, "Go back, sit in the fucking car, and leave." I've watched the whole video, but it basically, there's a back and forth. They're leaving out a whole bunch of it here. There's a long back and forth where the guy, the Afghani guy, what's his name? Jamal Wali. He essentially is explaining to the cop. He's like, "Look, I don't have a license. I don't have a sticker. You guys won't let me work. I live in this fucking country. This country fucking sucks, and there's nowhere for me to go. I can't leave. I can't go back home. You're pulling me over for what? An expired sticker?" Like, yeah. It's a whole situation. And eventually the cops are like, he identifies himself. He tells them that he has a weapon in the car. He tells them what's going on. And because the officer can see that he's got ammunition on his waist. If you watch the body cam, you can see it. I'm not necessarily recommending people to watch this whole video, but you can go watch this video. It's from May. And essentially what is happening here is that the interaction between this guy Jamal and the police officers is a real strong indication of the mental state that these guys are in. The United States hired these guys in Afghanistan to help them essentially commit war, I guess is the best way to explain it. These people facilitated our armed forces in a foreign land, which there's not even any reason we should have even been there in the first place. By the way, the modern conservative party will just act like, oh, it was just an inevitability that we had to go to Afghanistan. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? All this shit was built on a fucking lie from the same people that are lying to you on the internet right now, right? The powers that be that are lying to you on the internet day in and day out. Motherfuckers like Pam Bondi, right? Just lying to you every day. Every day. And excuse me. This guy is essentially breaking it down to the officer. He's like, "I don't have any money. I'm beholden to you guys. I have to drive over to this place he's basically was going to the food bank to get food for his family because he has no way to fucking provide for his family. He's not allowed to work in the country. He doesn't have a visa that would allow him to work in the country. The program that was here was canceled by the fucking Trump administration, like I said, in January. And this is May, right? This guy was holding out for at least 4 months, or this was April. So 4 months, January, February, March, April 23rd, right? You could call it 3 months if you want, but I would say 3 months, 4 months, whatever. It's terrible that they were put in this position that he was driving to go get food for his family. The cops weren't even killed. The two wounded officers were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. So no police officers were harmed. Of course, he was murdered and died in the hospital later. This gives you an idea of the mindset that these guys are in, right? They're from Afghanistan. They helped the U.S. military achieve whatever our military goals were in Afghanistan, which, by the way, if you delve into any of the reporting of what we were up to there, not good. Not good. Pretty much all bad, right? And then they were brought to the U.S., where we're supposedly going to either take care of them or allow them to live whatever life of freedom where the American dream supposedly exists. To this day, it doesn't really exist, I don't think, in 2025, unless you're somebody that already owns a bunch of
Land or cash?
what am I thinking of? It's not cash. It's assets. There you go. Yeah. If you are the owner of a bunch of assets, you're probably in a good spot. You own a bunch of gold. You own a bunch of land. You own a bunch of fucking shit like that. You're probably doing all right. Ask all those current people invested in Bitcoin how they're feeling about it at this point. Shit dropped 30 grand in the last week?
Yeah, it's been pretty nosedivey.
Yep, and it's probably going to continue to nosedive. The Melania coin actually is the funnier one to look at. That chart, it goes like this. It spikes way up, and then they take their money out of it. They pull the rug, and then it goes down, and then it just stays down. And it's been down the whole time. It's never gone back up. And,
but she's opening a movie company, a movie studio.
And, I wonder where she got the money from. The crypto rug pull. Anyhow, more to the point that I was talking about is that I guarantee you these 11,000 Afghani are in an absolute
state of panic.
State of just desperation. You know, and then now you currently have an administration that is like, well, we're going to deport you back to some other country, right? And we do know that this administration is perfectly willing to do that because they deport people to prisons where people are only ever going to get out, as reported by the person operating the prison, in a body bag, right? They're perfectly willing to do that. They're perfectly willing to do airstrikes on random boats out in the ocean. They're perfectly willing to commit murder. It's fine. They don't mind. They're totally happy to do it. And I would imagine that if you and your wife and your multiple children and you're sitting there going, they're going to put us on an airplane and they're going to send us back to the land where we will all be raped and murdered and torn apart as sort of just a de facto truth, right? I can't imagine the mental state that person would be living in and living with day in and day out. I don't know. I don't know what that person's emotional state would look like. I can certainly guess, and make an educated guess, that there are probably about 1 million emotions and thoughts, and all of them negative. And I think realistically, when you create an opportunity for a human to have zero outs, you expect them to continue to behave rationally, I don't think it's going to happen, you know? And I wholeheartedly believe that that's probably where both of these shooters, the position that they were in. That's probably what's going on. I've heard a bunch of theories online that people are like, oh, it's probably a false flag event, which is like not out of the realm of possibility, sure. But also, I wholeheartedly believe, just like in the past, that more often than not, they cling to these specific news stories and just, like I said, I could. It was difficult to look up
Right.
the story of an ex-Afghan translator drawing a gun on police before fatal shooting during a traffic stop. This is hard to look up because every other, I'm on page 5, right?
Wow.
I'm on page 5 to find this, right? And that's a pretty big story. It's a pretty big story that only happened in May, right? Or April. It happened in April, but apparently the New York Post reported on it in May, right? But then there's the question, is what did the New York Post spin out?
Right.
Driver exclaims, I should have served... Hold on. What did the New York Post put out? I should have served with the fucking Taliban moments before a fatal traffic stop shootout with police body cam footage.
Yeah, because the Post is very staunchly.
Yeah, I mean it's just a straight up propaganda rag for the fucking right wing weirdos.
Yep.
It's a right wing tabloid propaganda rag, right?
It basically wanted to be Breitbart before Breitbart was.
Mm-hmm. Mm. It's not a good spin. It's definitely not a positive spin.
No, not with that quote. I mean, they want to get the dog whistle words in. Let's make sure they see that he said Taliban.
Yeah. Oh my God, I saw a post the other day, and there was a post on the New York Post about Sydney Sweeney. Somebody was like, so somebody had gotten a hold of pictures of her without her makeup on and stuff. They're like, look how fucking mid this chick is. And I can't argue. I can't argue facts. Can't argue facts.
Makeup is a thing.
She is from Spokane. The light burns bright for a short period of time.
In Spokane.
In Spokane.
In Spokane. And not a peep on the Epstein files. Do we think there's going to be any place where there will be 2 words together on one page that haven't been blacked out?
They're obviously redacting everything. My holdout right now is how inept these fucking idiots are. As we saw, a bunch of material was already released with Trump all over it, right? And I think that the idea is, I think that they'd spent a ton of overtime money redacting the Epstein files, right? Yeah, as reported by the New Republic. Oh, this is an op-ed. Yeah, between March 17th and March 22nd, the Bureau spent $851,344, according to a Bloomberg report, and agents racked up 4,737 hours of overtime pay between January and July looking through the DOJ's evidence on Epstein. This included the investigation into Epstein's 2019 prison death, as well as search warrant execution photos, street surveillance video, and aerial footage. The DOJ's remaining unreleased Epstein documents amount to nearly 100,000 pages, and Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi have told the FBI to flag every mention of Donald Trump. There are also 40 computers and electronic devices, 26 storage drives, more than 70 CDs, and 6 recording devices, collectively containing over 300 gigabytes of data. Physical evidence includes photographs, travel logs, employee lists, over 17,000 in cash, 5 massage tables, blueprints of Epstein's Island and Manhattan home, 4 busts of female body parts, a pair of women's cowboy boots, 1 stuffed dog, a logbook of visitors to Epstein's private island, a list described as a document with names, which could be Epstein's rumored client list. And the wild thing is that like a lot of the Trump supporter stuff that I've seen, a lot of it does boil down to like why they put Kash Patel and Dan Bongino in the in our government positions, right, into the FBI. Is the idea is that they would spearhead and lend an air of what is it like? They'll lend an air of what's that?
Objectivity, anonymity.
Not objectivity, but like expertise or whatever. That like, well, they've been talking on their podcast forever to get the Epstein stuff released. And if you remember, Pam Bondi said she had the Epstein list sitting on her desk, and then a week later it just disappeared, right? Well, and then she was saying that like, well, I don't know, I never had a list. What's going on? And if you saw Kash Patel, he fucking testified in front of Congress. Like where? Hold on, let me find that. Kash Patel Swalwell. Eric Swalwell kept asking him. Here, hold on, I'll play a clip here. Oh, where's the sound?
President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the Epstein files. It's a simple question. Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files? During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes or no, Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your constituency by focusing on reducing violent crime in this country and the number of pedophiles that are legally harbored in your sanctuary cities in California? I'll work with you on that.
Regular order, Mr. Chairman.
I'm
the lawless gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt. Did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the
Which
files?
is like, yeah, I mean, his evasiveness, you know, it's acknowledging his guilt, right? It's like, you know, he's asking him directly, like, have you told Trump about this? Have you told Pam Bondi about this? Like, why don't you serve your constituency? Like a fucking absolute sham of a fucking dipshit that's running that's supposedly running the FBI, which I guarantee you he's not. He's just hanging around.
Hiding in his office
eating cookies and fucking taking planes to go visit his girlfriend and fucking whatever. Yeah. I mean they're trying to lend an air of like, what's the word I'm thinking of here? They're trying to lend an air of like validity to the like, well, we've been talking about the Epstein files on our podcast forever. So obviously we're going to get to the bottom of it. And they tried it earlier this year where Bongino and fucking Patel went onto like what, Joe Rogan and other shows, and they're like, yeah, there's just nothing here. Like, it's fine.
It's all just, whatever.
I forget what appearance they made.
I know Patel did Rogan. I don't remember the others.
There's one where they were both on something. Where was it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it's on Fox Business, and I need to allow ads on Fox Business. I'm not going to.
Gotta pay for those fees, those fines somehow.
I'm not going to. But they showed up on Fox Business, and they were both sitting there, like asking them questions, like and they were just both like, "Yeah, there's nothing there, man. It's fine." Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but can't play the clip for you because I'm not. I don't want you guys to see so many dick pill advertisements that are on Fox Business.
That's right, and incontinence ads.
Yeah. Are you shitting and having a lack of boners? Buy our boner pills. You still shit yourself, but you'll have a raging boner while you do it.
You'll have something else to do on the toilet as it happens.
Oh, which reminds me, I got it. We completely forgot. We completely forgot to do our vibrator ad today.
We did.
Hey guys, we know that somebody has been sharing with the world that it's a myth. What's a myth, Witchy Cat?
The female orgasm.
It's not a myth. And to prove that it's not a myth, head over to Amazon.com and buy yourself a vibrator and prove it to yourself that those people are all liars. They're all shitbirds. They're all liars. Amazon affiliate link, we get commish if you guys buy vibrators on Amazon. You could buy whatever you want. You could buy vacuum attachments. You could buy PVC cutters. You could buy... What else is here? A magnetic strip for holding knives? Actually, that might actually be useful. Let's look at that. Fuck yeah. Somebody bought a magnetic strip that holds knives, and that looks bitchin'. Look at that. That is some sexy knife-holding nonsense. I was thinking about it the other day. I need to make a magnet wall that I can just, like, throw tools at, and it will just hold them.
That randomly.
Yeah, because I have a couple knife holders. They're, like, super cheap. Like ghetto knife holders, and I have them in my shop, and I stick tools to them, and I'm like, yeah, but I just need this whole wall to be a fucking magnet. But then I started to worry about, like, well, if you had that much magnet, would it create like a magnetic field? Would it interfere with the electrical? I don't know. And then I started looking that up, and then I got dizzy and had to take a nap.
Well, yeah, I can see.
Yeah. I was like, oh god, there's too much craziness. I gotta take a nap now.
Way too much thought applied.
Somebody bought printer paper. You guys, if you're going to buy printer paper, buy it through our Amazon link. It's good.
That seems like
there we go.
Bad choice.
We did our Black Friday. It's Friday Black.
Who is Ticky Dicky Tick? What is that?
What?
Tick Ticky Tick. There we go.
What are you talking about?
Somebody in the chat. Ticky Tick.
Oh, that's Steve. Don't worry. Steve's good. What's up, buddy?
A new name for me.
That's Steve. Steve's good.
Yay,
Steve, long time.
Cool.
There's lots of Steves around here. You gotta watch out. We're Steve friendly. Oh, whoops! I reloaded the studio. I don't know why I reloaded the studio on accident. Whoops. We'll close that chat window, and now we have an extra chat window. Boom! There we go. We get an updated chat window, but then it automatically defaults to top chat instead of all live chat. D-Rock says, or the Grinder ads on Fox. That's true. You're gonna get a lot of pop-up Grinder ads on Fox. It's targeting their audience, you know. It's interesting to watch how the whole administration deflects and refuses to answer the questions. It's true. It's true. It is interesting. I would say, like, if it wasn't a cavalcade of absolute nonsense leading the Earth to a completely different, like world, World War III, whatever you want to say, it would be interesting. It would be interesting as like sort of a scientific study or whatever. It's sort of like when you look up history, right? And you're like, wow, it's really interesting how the Germans let that happen, you know? And you're like, yeah, but how did they get there? You know? And then you're like, oh, there's 1,000 different little inflection points of how they got there. And then your eyes start to get bigger and bigger once you realize, like, oh shit, they were headed in that direction. Why didn't they pump the brakes? You know? But I do, like, if I was to make some predictions here, we're going to end up in some wacky conflict with Venezuela, mainly because the U.S. oil is no longer becoming viable to pull from the ground. Oil... so I think oil is trading at like what, $50 a barrel right now. So we want to see the U.S. field production right here. U.S. field production is currently the highest it's ever been, except the increase is way down. Where is it? We got to go down to 2025. When we start to look at like the comparative numbers, we want to see. I think it's 5-year seasonal analysis. I think that's how you go about it. So there's 2020. Oh, that's true. There won't be a World War III because Trump is the best at stopping wars. Just look how many he's already stopped. I mean, he stopped a bunch of wars that we didn't even know what was going on.
What, we're up to 9 now?
It must be 9, right? So we need to find consumption demand against the... Where is it? So we need to look up rigs. Oh, it doesn't type in there automatically. There it is. This is one of the gas rigs and the oil rigs are now inflecting against each other.
I don't understand that sentence.
Here we go. We'll find how to explain this. So the Baker Hughes rig count presently shows a virtually even split between the oil-directed and gas-directed rigs. This represents a major departure from the historical rig distribution. Natural gas rigs generally accounted for between 80 and 90% of the total weekly rig count throughout most of the 2000s. However, starting in about mid-2009, when the overall rig count reached its low point after peaking in September 2008, the number of rigs targeting oil deposits has climbed sharply. And so one of the reasons that this is an important story right here is that this shows the trend through 2011, right? As we were making the conversion to from fracking
Oh, okay.
Out of
Back to drilling.
yeah, back to drilling. And now the reason for that is that the reason that we would go back to drilling is that because this was when they introduced fracking, right? And now the price per barrel fluctuates, blah, 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 all that stuff. But the reason why this is so like paramountly important is because the reason that the rig count is dropping is because our rigs have reached maturity, right? And so it's like we have the rigs happening, but we're not drilling anything new. And so once a rig is mature, its production drops, right? So like let's say right when you drill and you start the rig pumping oil out of the ground, like let's say it gets 100 a day or whatever, of whatever number. Eventually it will, once it becomes mature, it just produces less and less and less. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so the rigs are producing less and less and less. And because they're producing less and less, it's dropping. It's a big part of why the gas prices are dropping because OPEC has increased their production. So like if you have a rig that's only producing, say, 40 out of the 100 a day, you basically just turn it off because you're like, we're not making money anymore off it running, right? So they stop it, and then they don't drill any new rigs. So that was the whole thing with like the drill baby drill thing. They don't drill into the ground if gas is extraordinarily low because OPEC is producing so much, right? Because it's not viable to do it in the United States. Because it doesn't cost $0 to produce the oil.
Right.
And so when you look at those rigs that are getting drilled and set and new stuff is going online and stuff, it's only the times when the gas is actually profitable, the oil is actually profitable to get out of the ground because gas and diesel prices and all that stuff are high enough to you actually do it, right? It's like, imagine it this way, is that like if gold was $1 per pound, right? And if you've ever, it's really accessible that you could watch the Gold Rush show, right?
Right.
And you can see like how much it takes to get it out of the ground, right? You got to like dig all this overburden and set up all these machines and wash all the dirt and rocks and stuff. And then you got to find the gold, and then you got the gold. Just imagine if you did that and the gold was worth $0, right?
Right.
You'd be like, well, we can't dig for gold anymore, right?
Right.
That's what happens currently with gas. I mean, oil production. I mean, I just say gas as like a large, umbrella term of the like, well, if you're making gas and selling gas and the gas doesn't sell for any money, then you just don't do it, right?
Right.
You just stop doing it,
Right.
which has started happening. So of course, there's no data to display for U.S. crude and oil production. Why is it showing? Well, it's definitely showing us the gas because we have like a ton of natural gas exports, which is why natural gas is getting more expensive for people in the States because a lot of it's getting sent overseas.
Right.
Let's see. This is a really difficult website to navigate unless you're like super expert in navigating this website.
Which at this time we are not. There's the guppy.
Yeah. So if you look, I'll show you right here. So this is the short term from the energy Information Administration right here. You can see it right here. They're forecasting that right now, 2024, the total distribution price was $3.31 for gas. And you can see the crude oil, refinery margin, and retail and distribution is this part at the top, right? And as you see, the forecast for 2025 is 21 cents a gallon less, right? And then it's projected to even go farther down in 2026. And the reason for this is that OPEC started increasing their production in response to the old deal that they signed with Trump. When Trump, during COVID, flew over to basically Saudi Arabia, and he put his hands on the glowing ball, and he signed that deal with them. Yeah, he signed the deal with them to reduce production. And then when they found out he was getting back into office, they were like, oh, okay, we're just going to increase production now. There's been multiple press conferences where they've been talking, they've asked him about it, and he said, don't worry, I'm going to handle it, which always just means he's not going to do anything about it. And this outlook is likely going to be exactly correct. But what ends up happening here is that this all becomes useless to a lot of the companies in the U.S., right? Eventually, you get to a point where the forecast diesel crack spreads to rise from an average of 52 cents a gallon from 2024 to 69 cents a gallon and reaching 84 cents a gallon in 2026. The gasoline market, we similarly forecast strong crack spread gains for 2025 to 2026. So this is ultimately like the big problem, is that this cuts into all of the potential profit, and eventually people are just going to stop doing work for free. Is eventually what's going to come of this, which is then of course likely to increase the cost, but it's not going to increase the access for Americans, right? Long term, that's what's going to end up happening. And as we know, on the other side of it, we're not making up any space in alternative energy anymore because we canceled all those contracts. So it's only going to get worse. That's the big problem.
Yeah. But gas prices are the lowest they've ever been. They're under $2 somewhere. In theory.
Mark says, I can't believe at his age that his health isn't far worse. I would beg to differ, my friend. His health is terrible. You don't randomly get scheduled for MRIs in between the multiple physicals you're getting a year. As we know, people in very high office in the United States are receiving absolute top tier medical assistance. We also know, if you listen to Pod Save America at, who are those two fucking dinguses? John Favreau, John Lovett, Dan Pfeiffer, and Tommy Vitor. They're worthwhile to listen to sometimes. You definitely have to go grain of salt. But if you like me, I've listened to a bunch of their podcasts just sort of in the background while I'm working on stuff.
Right.
And one thing that they've accidentally slipped multiple times is the amount of Adderall and let's say narcotics in the same ballpark as Adderall and whatnot. Just how much medication the people in the White House are all getting on a regular basis, essentially to keep themselves going, right? Because they're sort of operating like you know, like a med student in their finals week, but all year long, right?
Right.
And that's why if you look at like Bush, like, yeah, here's a perfect example, right? This is a prime example of a guy who used to do a bunch of cocaine. He used to party with girls. He lost a professional baseball team. He managed to do all that. After 8 years of that job, this is what he looks like, right? He went from this guy to this guy in 8 years, right? 8 years of that job. Here's his dad before and after, right?
Well, even Obama went from, you know, almost silver hair at the end. Clinton looked horrible afterwards.
Let's get all of them. Let's see.
And Clinton at least had an impeachment. We could almost compare him. He only had the one, not the.
Clinton's the only one that really didn't age all that much. Yeah, here you go. Like he does, I mean, he decidedly does look older, but like that's the same guy, you know.
Interns keep you young.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're partying, you know. There's Obama before and after, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he basically just has more gray hair and looks more worried, right?
Yeah, that's the...
Although he's pretty young, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to go that gray, though, it just doesn't seem... And as I recall, it seemed to happen overnight. It wasn't a gradual thing. It was like one day I'm like, wow, when did that happen?
Yeah, and so more to my point is that these people are receiving like the absolute like top tier keep you going stuff on a regular basis, and that is what fucks them up. And people would say like, oh, it's because the office is so stressful, right? And it's like, I would argue that that's not really what it is. It's the 24-hour cycle, right? And being constantly on the ball. It's not that it's stressful. It's just that you're working all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't a time where you aren't working. And they're medicating on top of it. And it doesn't matter how many IVs you have. It doesn't matter how much amphetamines you're taking to stay awake, right? It doesn't implore you with, you know, health points. It doesn't implore you with hit points like it was a RPG, right? Like you're not getting extra hit points and stuff. You're just taking potions in order to continue.
Where's the pity?
Yeah, Mark says Clinton didn't age as bad because he was fucking most of the time. Actually, here's what's insane. Do you want to see something that's insane? I posted this in the Discord. I don't think anybody picked up on it. What was that girl's name?
Monica Lewinsky?
No, the blonde girl we were talking about earlier. From Spokane. What was her name?
Sweeney.
Oh, yeah, Sydney Sweeney. This is what's crazy.
Oh, we're going to see her before after?
No. You
Makeup under.
No. Fucking
No.
calm yourself down. This is what's insane. This is Hillary Clinton at the exact same age as Sydney Sweeney. And do they look like sisters? Like, I mean, they look like almost the same person. It's fucking insane. And like in this picture down here, like it basically looks exactly like Sydney Sweeney. right? I mean, obviously she's not the exact same person, but like they're almost the same person. It's fucking crazy.
That's funny.
People don't want to talk about that. As highlighted here, starting a conversation none of you want to have. Right? I don't think people got it. I don't think people got it because I posted just this top part, and nobody asked like, "Hey, who is that?" And it's like, "Well, that's Hillary Clinton." Yeah, there's like people don't want to talk about that shit. People don't want to talk about like Hillary was a smoke show. I mean, I get it, war criminal, all that stuff, right? I get it, but like, yeah, I mean. Here's the deal. Would you hit that? I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you? I mean, it'd be a feather in your cap, you know? So, yeah, it's a hard truth. I don't think people are really wanting to have a conversation about for real, you know? Actually, I think the weirdest thing was I was reading some like biography about them or whatever, a million years ago. So I don't know what I'm exactly
Quoting.
What was the word? Shit. What was I saying? Sorry, I got a text from a customer. Totally distracted me. Oh, yeah. I was reading like a biography on them, and I don't even know if it was like a licensed biography, and I'm super paraphrasing based on memory. But one of the things that they were really highlighting about their early life was a lot of their connection and like working together and everything was strictly like a political ambition.
Yep.
Right. Which when I was thinking about that, it's like it puts her in even more parallel with Sydney Sweeney than anything else. Because you're like, I mean, I'm not mad at Sydney Sweeney. I don't think she's a bad person. I bet you she's probably a fine person if you hang out with her or whatever. She probably is just a regular old human. But she is 100% like utilizing her physical attributes right now to make maximum amount of money, which I can't fault anybody for doing. If somebody's going to give you $20 million to put your tits out, I probably would put my tits out if I had them. I mean, if somebody gave me $20 million, I'd put my balls out wherever you want me to put them. That's fine. Like, cut the check, deposit the check. As soon as it clears, you got all the dick pics you want for $20 million. I don't care, right? I'm not doing it for free, but hey, man, you know, you got the 20 mil. Let's do it.
I got
And somebody would say like, you can't be bought and sold. It's like, yeah, you can. You know,
so
like
yeah, there's
you could.
the price.
My shame stops me for doing it for free.
All right.
You know, the shame's stronger than doing it for free.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just giving anybody an opportunity to drop a $20 million super chat just in case. Okay.
Just on the off chance you got the pocket change.
Just on the off chance, right? I could make a lot of fish videos. I could be on location catching fish and filming it.
That's right.
And pay an editor to post them up for you guys.
That's where the majority of it would go.
Well, airfare, you know.
But I had to pay 19 to the editor.
Airfare.
Oh, that's true. Fair.
Yeah, the airlines, they don't do it for free.
Damn them.
You know, I wish they would. I wish they would just fly us around in pure luxury for free, but they don't. D-Rock says, shit, Monica is hotter now. Yeah, I will agree. I 100% agree with you. She was on some podcast the other day. Apparently she has a podcast, right?
That's it. Pretty much everyone seems to these days.
How do you fucking spell her name?
Lewinsky.
Lewinsky? Lewinsky. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they got her all like gussied up or whatever for her podcast or whatever, but I mean, that's a smoke show mom. I'm telling you, 100%. And I will say, extraordinarily personable and very introspective and well thought out, well spoken. Like, you know, package deal.
People forget that to be an intern at the White House, you have to have the goods. You can't just show up and be like,
I don't know. You can't go around saying that.
well,
Who's the head of the FBI?
all right, past White Houses. How's that?
Oh, you think? You think that they were vetting them super hard? I honestly don't. I don't think they were. It's just connected people. And I don't know how she was back then because I don't even remember her talking on anything.
Yeah, she didn't talk. She hid mostly. I mean,
yeah, which she
we
had
saw
to.
the top of her head and the back of her hand as she hid her face and tipped her head down to get from the door to the car.
Oh, didn't she have an interview with Barbara Wawa?
I don't remember.
Barbara Wawa?
Wawa.
That's the thing. Like, in the 90s, I was like, wait, what? You know?
Right.
She was I don't know. She was strange looking in the 90s. I don't know. Maybe it was just the 90s. But that's the thing is, like, I don't know what the influence of the 90s had.
Right.
And it's also hard to think, like, what I don't know what I was doing in the 90s. It's very confusing. It's hard to remember. Oh, we got the fucking sound on? That's smart. Let's do that. Let's have the sound on. Is this an interview from the 90s? Yes. No.
Had a large sort of appetite for love, and not, I don't mean in the sort of crude sense love, but...
He needed loving.
Yes.
Okay, this is an interview from the 1999.
Really was so disappointed and so distraught and had some other things going on in my...
I don't know what was going on back then. I don't know what was happening. Maybe I was in a different mindset. I don't know. But she filled out to be a swan. I guess we'll put it that way.
An
yeah.
attractive woman.
Anyhow, we got to go. It's the end of the show. Today's sponsor was Alyssa Bentley, otherwise known as Mangala, with the $5 super chat. And we got to go because we got Girl Scouts. Do you got Girl Scouts? We got Girl Scouts.